Hey, what is going on YouTube? This is Will, and in this video I have another anime figure unboxing for you guys, and this one is brought to you by AmiAmi. And fun fact, this is actually my first shipment of pre-ordered figures. All the unboxings I've done on this channel up to this point have either been pre-owned figures from Bai or AmiAmi, or if they were pre-orders, they were actually figures that my wife ordered. So none of them have been mine. This is my first shipment of brand new figures that I ordered months ago. So super excited. I got two scaled figures in here, one Nendo, one pre-owned figure, and I have two other figures that I also picked up in a separate order. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So before I jump into the AmiAmi shipment, let me talk about these other two figures that I got in a separate shipment. And the first one is going to be Yoko. So Yoko from Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann is such an old anime. I think it came out in like 2007 or 2008, but it's definitely one of my favorites of all time. It was I don't know, it just had a big impact on me back when I watched it. I watched it years ago, probably like 10 or so years ago at least, when I first watched it. So it's been a while, but I do remember the impact it left on me when I watched it. So I had to get a figure of Yoko. This figure is not bad. It's actually really well done figure. I don't really see any flaws with her in terms of the craftsmanship. Paint job's good. Absolutely nothing wrong with her whatsoever. So it's a pretty nice figure. But I do want to get like a scaled figure of her at some point, because I want to have her with her, rifle, maybe with boots if possible, or something like that. So I'm going to be on the lookout for a scale figure. But, this pop-up parade, I paid about $40 for, I think off of Big Bad Toy Store. So it's a little expensive, but it's not like terrible. It's pretty good quality again. It's a pretty nice figure, so it'll do for now. Now the next figure that I have here is going to be the Kaguya from Kaguya-sama Love is War. This is her Nendo doll. I got her for 5,500 yen from AmiAmi. She was rated an A, pre-owned, so pretty good. Not too expensive actually. And I absolutely love this figure. It is super, super cute. So this is our first Nendo doll, and I did not realize how many pieces it came with. You can pretty much take apart her entire body and kind of have her pose however way that you want. So definitely cute. You can, the dress is very nice. I actually like the fabric, so that's a nice little touch here. The only kind of downside to this figure is that it only has the one faceplate. But for the price that I paid, I think that's pretty fair. And the paws and cat ears are definitely a nice little touch here. All right, so now let's go and jump into our main event and open up this AmiAmi box. Now we're gonna work our way from the small figures up to the bigger figures, and the first one is going to be a pre-owned set of figures, and it's going to be Nendo petite figures from Monogatari. This is like my favorite series of all time, and the reason that I got this set is going to be for the Aragi figure here, because we don't get that many husbando figures, and he's probably one of my favorite male protagonists in all of anime. I definitely love his character a lot. So when I saw this go up for sale on AmiAmi, I had to pick it up. I paid about 3,200 yen for this entire set, but I really just wanted Aragi, Shinjigahara, which is still best girl, and Hanekawa were just kind of added bonuses. So let's go and get this open and see what it looks like. And just real quick, this is what it looks like when I take it out of the box. All these pieces almost kind of fell out as soon as I took it out, but a lot of little pieces here. All right, so I've been fumbling around with these little petite Nendos for the past 10 minutes or so, trying to get them in the exact pose that I want, but I'm just gonna give up. These things are a pain in the butt. I mean, Nendos, I would say, aren't too bad to put together, but they can be a little annoying sometimes. These petite ones are terrible. I mean, I feel like I already broke a piece of Aragi's accessories that I might have to glue back, but I probably won't even bother with it. I'm just gonna keep it as it is, as it came out of the packaging, and just go with that, and I'll have my Aragi figure here. The Shinjigahara figure is pretty cute. I definitely like this one. Looks just like her, just in a petite form. And they even went the extra mile and gave us the staple underwear. I was really surprised to see that. And then we have our Hanekawa here. She looks pretty good too. And they actually have an option if you want to add her cat ears instead of her, just kind of normal look. So those are my little petite Nendos from Monogatari. Now let's go ahead and move on to our next item. Now moving into our next figure, it's also going to be a Nendo, but hopefully one that'll be easier to put together. Is going to be Komi from, of course, Komi Can't Communicate. And I absolutely adore this anime. It's pretty cute. It's funny. I really enjoy the entire cast of characters in this anime. They all have a decent amount that they contribute to the actual series, so I definitely appreciate that. So I really wanted to pick up this Komi Nendo, and that's really because of this one face right here with the big large eyes, and more specifically with the cat ears and that determination look. So that's why I really got it. But yeah, let's go and get it open and get it set up real quick. So they give us 3 different face plates with her. You get just her normal look, you get her blushing as well, and then like I showed you before, you get that kind of excited determination look as well. That's what I'm gonna go for. So let's go ahead and get it set up. Hopefully it won't take too long. Now, other than the 3 faceplates, she doesn't really have too much going on inside of her box. She has a couple of different arms that you can change out. She does have a couple of accessories. So she has this school bag, which I actually think is pretty cute, definitely captures Komi. And of course, she has that iconic little notepad that she uses to communicate with. One side says thank you and the other side says sorry. Now, of course, you do have the cat ears as well. That's a separate attachment from the head, and they are extremely fragile. In fact, I already broke one of the ears. The little plastic tab that attaches the ear to the head just completely snapped off when I dropped it on the ground. And yeah, the only thing that's holding this thing together right now is some pretty good double-sided tape that my wife had, and I really can't even tell that it's taped on there. So it's doing pretty good. I'm not sure how long that adhesive is going to last, but I may have to change it out. But other than that one little small complaint on the cheapness of the parts of the ears, I really do like the figure. Like I said, I love this face of hers the most. And that's probably going to be the one I use the most because I know we have some other figures of Komi coming out where she has that more serious looking face. Now moving into our first scaled figure, it's going to be the lovely Holo from Spice and Wolf. This is the 1/7 scale from, I believe it's called Ques Q. I think that's how you pronounce it, I guess. I have no idea. But I paid about 15,700 yen for this. And I absolutely had to get this figure. It looked absolutely beautiful in the pictures. And just looking at it through the plaster right now, absolutely fantastic. And I just got finished watching, well, not just got finished. I watched Spice and Wolf for the first time like early in the summer. And I enjoyed the anime itself. I wasn't like too thrilled with like the story or whatnot. It was okay. But I really, really did like the relationship between Holo and Lawrence. And yeah, I absolutely love Holo. She's definitely top tier waifu. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this sucker open. And wow, what a amazing figure. She looks so good. Now, one thing I like about figures is for them to just kind of be a little dynamic with their poses. And this is as dynamic as you can get. She is, twirling around with the dress, and the figure is just really capturing that motion so well. So you got the dress kind of flowing, got her hair flying, even her tail kind of wrapping around her body. Looks kind of like she's really turning her body in that direction. So looks really good. The dress is kind of plain. I will say that, but it's still a very nicely done dress. And again, it's really the pose that sells it for me. Now her face itself, I mean, it looks just like Holo. I mean, you can't really complain about that. The paint job on this is absolutely flawless. Can't see anything really to complain about. And it's just a very nice looking figure. Now they do include that pouch of wheat around her neck, which I think is a nice touch because I feel like some of her figures don't include that pouch, but I definitely think it's very important for her character. Now looking at this base, this is definitely the weaker aspect of this figure here. It's just a lot of brown nothingness down there where you have this little patch of grass that she's dancing in. So I don't see why they couldn't just add grass, to cover at least more than what they're covering here. And there's definitely a lot of empty space that I'm not too happy with. But overall, I would say this is definitely a great figure. And Holo has been pretty blessed when it comes to figures. She has so many good figures that you can get of her. And I'm probably gonna have like another 2 or 3 at least in my collection of her, just because they're such nice looking figures. I mean, I like Holo. She's not like my top tier waifu. She's pretty high up there, but just because her figures look so good, it makes me want to just buy more of her. Now this next figure, so this was an interesting one. It's going to be the 1/7 scale from FuRyu of this girl from Arknights. And I have absolutely no idea what this girl's name is. And that's because I don't play Arknights. And AmiAmi tweeted that they still had some of these in stock after it was released back in September. And I absolutely fell in love with this figure. I thought she looked so freaking cool. Everything about her, it was just absolutely magnificent in my opinion. So I went ahead and bought her. Don't know anything about Arknights. Don't play the game. I don't know the source material. I'm watching the new anime that's out right now, which is kind of okay. But yeah, I had to pick this up. Her name is Hoshiguma and Wanderer Banner, whatever that means. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this sucker open. So here we have her out of the packaging, just the figure itself and nothing else. And the first thing I noticed is that she's quite heavy. This is a heavy figure, which gives me comfort that it's probably well made. So I definitely appreciate that. And again, just looking at her, I mean, I can't really compare her to anything because again, I don't know the source material. But just if I were to say this is just an original character, I mean, and we know it's not, but that's how I kind of see it. I think she is so cool looking. I love the design of her. Everything about her I like. I mean, the outfit is great. Her hair color, I like the horn, her face, that look in her eye. It all looks so good to me. I would say the one flaw that I have with her, at least with this figure itself, is that her boots are a little bit too shiny. I kind of wish they went with more of a matte for the boots, but that's a very small complaint after looking at it for like 20 minutes. Other than that, I mean, I think the figure is absolutely amazing. And yeah, definitely happy I picked it up. Now let's go and look at the other accessories. So here we have what I assume is her main weapon. I'm not sure what kind of weapon this is. We're just gonna call it a really big ass rectangular sword, but I love the uniqueness of it. It's pretty cool looking, and it looks like, you know, from her handle, I guess it can kind of like spin in her hand, so that's pretty cool. And then I love these stickers that they added to the weapon to kind of portray, you know, the character's personality. I thought that was a pretty nice touch. And then when you flip the weapon over, it's pretty plain on that side, except for right in the middle, you have a devil like helm, I guess, if you want to call it, which adds a little bit more to that uniqueness of the weapon. And I just think it's really cool. Now, unfortunately, you're probably not going to really see that side of it because this is the back of the character. So unless you're going to be displaying it where you can see full 360, you know, it's kind of a shame, but still a nice little touch. Now you can see that the hand is already attached with a nice little metal rod coming out of it to attach to her arm. So when you put it in there into her arm, it fits pretty snugly and it feels very secure, like it's not going to fall out. So here we have her all put together, and it was very easy to do. Props to FuRyu for, you know, the design of this figure, for making it so easy to put together. It took me maybe, I don't know, 7-10 minutes to take everything out of the packaging and put it together. So very easy to do. She has 3 swords that just kind of go into the base itself. Very easy. Flagpole straight into the base. Putting the weapon, the large sword or whatever you want to call it, into her arm, easy to do. Felt very secure as well. But we also have a little support rod that you can't even see back here. That's also helping to support the large weapon. And you have 2 clouds. You have 2 clouds that attach to her weapon to kind of make it look like they're floating. And that's it. That's all you gotta do to put her together. Now, I've just been staring at this figure for like the past, 2 or 3 minutes. And I would have to say this is by far the coolest looking figure that I have in my collection. There are a lot of figures that I have in my collection that I probably, like more just because of the emotional attachment to the character that I have with them. But if I were to take all that away and just look at the aesthetics of the figure and the character design and all that, by far, this one just takes the cake. I have nothing that touches this figure. It's just so cool looking. So, if you're an Arknights fan, I don't know if you like this character or not. Maybe you hate her, but the figure itself, you gotta admit, is pretty cool looking. So I'm definitely happy I picked it up. There are some other Arknights figures and Azure Lane figures that I've seen go up for sale that do look good. I would say they do a great job with those figures, but this is the only one where I felt like I definitely had to pick it up for myself. So I'm happy I did. I mean, it was definitely not the cheapest of figures, but still very well worth it in my opinion. Now, if you guys want to check to see how my collection has grown over the past 4 or 5 months, definitely check out this playlist here with all of my unboxings. And be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It definitely helps the channel out, and I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.